So tell me, what are we going to talk about today?
Today on Keepin the Geek Bros podcast, also 99.8, we've got Need for Speed beat Need for Beef.
Need for Beef. Yeah.
Sorry. Need for Speed Heat.
Someone's hungry.
Becomes the first EA game to get crossplay. And it's funny because I looked at these things, I said it over and over in my head, and I was feeling really good about it. All right, Need for Speed Heat becomes the first EA game to get crossplay. The
Nice.
UK is considering reclassifying video game loot boxes as gambling. EA announces Star Wars Squadrons. Sony's PS5 event. Microsoft issues new strike to Chrome with new browser. Superman's newest power is also his most devastating. Cobra Kai Season 3 won't debut on YouTube. Jon Favreau says The Mandalorian Season 2 is on track despite Covid-19 shutdown. Petition asks Disney parks to re-theme Splash Mountain. The Flash, Hartley Sawyer, fired over racist misogynist tweets. All this and more in this week's episode of Keepin the Geek Bros, a family podcast, allegedly. Stay tuned.
In a world where geeking out never looked so good, two incredibly sexy men will rise for your auditory pleasure. Here's your hosts, Keeping Up with the Geek Bros.
Yes. Keepin the Geek Bros podcast. I'm your host, Vibe. And with me are my fellow co-hosts,
Darth Flex.
Garbanzo.
And Roz.
Yes, before we get to today's topics, Mr. Flex, tell these fine people where to find us on social media.
Absolutely beautiful people. Hope you're all staying safe out there.
Beautiful people.
You can check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Geek Bros with a 0. That's GEEKBR0S. And you can also send us emails. Again, free shit, man. Like, just email us. We'll give you free stuff. I think Man is getting free stuff, isn't he?
Yeah. We have to ask him what he wants. I haven't responded. Well, I haven't responded, but I haven't, sent the list. I should do that after we're done. Man, get free stuff.
Go ahead and email us at geekbros with a 0 at yahoo.com. I don't know, man. Send us dog pictures. It's nice to see some positivity in such negative times, You can also check us out on facebook.com/geekbros with a 0.
The hottest place to find us.
Yeah. And you can check us out on the first place.
The first place.
The first place.
WeTheGeeksPC.com. And now, if you want to see the beautiful concoction of, I don't know.
Arroz con mango.
Arroz con mango. Wow, dog. Yeah.
Whatever we are now, I guess. I don't know. We're quarantined. You can check us out on youtube.com/BriveWebStudios. That's VIBEREVSTUDIOS.
Yes. All right, we're gonna move on to comments and questions from you, the audience, and I got a few this time, so bear with me. Let me scroll it down, suckers.
There was polls too.
Huh? There are.
There was Twitter polls, yeah.
I didn't know. I haven't looked at our Twitter. I mean, I always look at our Twitter. It's great. You should follow us on Twitter. All right, so facebook.com/GeekBros0. A picture was put up of I guess a child in a McDonald's playground or some kind of slide, and next to it was some kind of weird, scary thing. And she said that was her good friend Anna. Was it Kerrer? K-Herer? Cool. She puts I'm scared to death right now, and that was a Ron Burgundy with a mic thing. So that was good. Appreciate it, Anna. You're great. I'm not gonna pronounce your last name ever again. So please keep commenting. Next one was a post of 3 cosplaying women, and it said, guess who they are? And my good friend Owen Good says it was Ed, and Eddie. So thank you very much, Owen. I didn't even know you followed the Geek Bros Facebook. That's amazing. Fantastic. Thank you so much. You're probably not listening, but thank you so much. So moving on to YouTube comments from episode 99.7, the video recap. Man says, I've seen the sex dungeon, which is referring to you, Garbanzo, where you were. It says he always makes me be Chewy. He said he sent another email, which I think we read that one already. He says, not sure if I should leave my long comment here or in an email, and I told him do both. And he said he was finally good to see. No, what Squeezy Bits is late to the DC animated scene, so he doesn't understand. So basically, that's what it was. And Cherish commented, "Want to be friends?" So I assume that's spam, and of course I replied with absolutely, and that was that.
We're always down for new friends. And
We always down for new friends.
And just to defend myself, the reason why he's always Chewy is because he is hairy. So I'll just leave that at that.
I don't know what that turned me on.
Just to be clear, not on his head.
Yeah, no, it's like it's his hairline starts here.
No, have I met this guy before?
No, but I know he's an avid listener, and me and him have had many messed up jokes about each other's hairlines for over the last 10 years. So
and that is the source of true friendship. And lastly, we got an email. Exactly. Lastly, Ralph, Mr. Squeezy himself, sent an email on Wednesday, and he goes, I think splitting the podcast into several sections, then posting it on YouTube as individual clips can really help about the podcast. Part of being recommended by YouTube algorithm to the views is the video's ability to maintain attention. Example, if a video is 1 hour long and someone watches 15 minutes, its audience retention is only 25%. In contrast, if a video is 6 minutes long and somebody watches 3 minutes, the audience retention is 50%. Higher audience retention is a big factor in receiving blessings from the algorithm. If someone were to keep track of the time and write down when the bro would move on and hit the points from the outlines, it would be much easier to edit as a reference. Agreed. But this is what I've made it very clear. The podcast by nature is supposed to be listened to, not necessarily watched. The only reason why I put up a video recap on YouTube is A, I wanted to edit it down for the Instagram preview, and B, because some people say they just like to watch the podcast as opposed to listen to it. It's not when I put that disclaimer in the podcast about not getting recommended and not being seen, and our views have dropped significantly. It was because of an algorithm change. It absolutely did. Our views for everything dropped. I mean, down to 1% of what they used to be after the last algorithm change. But it wasn't necessarily because of the podcast numbers. The podcast numbers, like, again, I just throw it out there for anybody who there are a few people who say I prefer to watch your podcast than listen to it. So no, I definitely will not be doing that. There's no way, no how I would be able to, that I would want to break this podcast up into 10-minute, 15-minute chunks out of an hour and a half to 2 hours sometimes that we do. It won't happen. Never. But thank you, Excuse me. I get what you're trying to say, and it makes sense. It really does. But again, the podcast is really to be listened to. It's the video recap that's put on YouTube is supplementary. It's just for those who want to watch it. Especially there are certain jokes or certain things that we do that's not audible, and people want to what happened? Who's laughing? What did they show? That's why they jump on the podcast. So that answers that question, because I told him I was going to answer it on the podcast and not via email. So thank you very much for your comments and questions. Remember, keep sending it out your way. We're going to talk. We're going to discuss it. We're going to bring it up. We're going to laugh. We're going to cry, and we're going to respond. And with that being said, Jeds, I'm changing anything to report to what's on your mind. Now, this section now means you can talk about anything randomly that's on your mind this week and go for it. So it's now the new segment. What's on your mind?
Flex, you want to take the first swing?
Sure.
Dark Flex.
Sure. Since what's on my mind, that's actually a pretty good segment. So there's this little fuckface or Red America Top Team. He's one of the other strength and conditioning coaches, though he's really an online personal trainer, pretending to be a strength and conditioning coach who takes credit for people's success, which I find to be incredibly frustrating and disrespectful. He's a bit of a cock. He has no methods when it comes to any kind of strength and conditioning or any kind of physiological systematic approaches to training any kind of athlete. And he likes to talk shit online, and he thinks because I don't speak Portuguese, which I do, and I understand. Then I don't know what he's saying. But I think he also doesn't realize that, even if he says it in Portuguese, Instagram does try to translate for you. That's one thing. So he co-wrote this book with this doctor from Brazil, which, by the way, those kinds of science shit are shit in Brazil. No disrespect to Brazil, but it just is. And I hate this guy so much now that I'm going to go out of my way to buy his book, which would support him, read it, which is in Portuguese, make a video breaking everything down on why it doesn't work and the methods are not true in Portuguese.
Oh my God, let me edit that. Let me edit the hell out of that for you.
Absolutely. Do it.
I'll make that so professional looking.
I'm going to do it professionally. Like, I'm not going to sit there and just talk shit.
Can we get the English subtitles too?
Sure. But I'm going to actually.
I hate you, Garbanzo.
Support what I'm going to actually support what I'm going to say, and show what kind of a phony this guy is, because he's always talking shit. He's always taking credit for stuff that is not his right to take credit for. He thinks he's an authoritative figure. Like, when I first came in there, he tried to mentor me. I'm like, bitch, you have a Brazilian degree in PE. Like, this literally says PE. Like, okay, you don't have any postgraduate degrees. You have no condition certifications. You are an online personal trainer. If just on paper alone, bro, I could be your grandfather. So, that guy can suck my nutsack right now and post-surgery, which I'm getting on Wednesday. Fuck that guy, man. Like, I'm actually a very, very nice guy, and I'm very hard to not get along with in a professional manner. But, man, and it takes a lot to get someone like me mad, because, like I said, I'm not a violent person. I'm not an angry person. I talk a lot of shit, but all in jest or good nature. But, whew, this fucking guy. And what makes me the most, I'm sure you know, is when someone talks about the science I'm passionate about with just pure bullshit. It's just, I don't know. He's lucky this is the United States.
You know what? I have a feeling he probably will start selling Herbalife soon.
If you were to meet him, he sounds like one of those guys.
Like he's living inside of a multi-level marketing scheme.
Yeah, and his scheme is pretty much, so he's Amanda Nunes' coach, which is by far the most dominant female fighter in the world. But she's never had to rely on strength and conditioning because she's so dominant. She's knocking chicks out in like the first round, or just breezes through 5 rounds without even having to, do anything. It's nothing he does. She's just a beast, and that's his claim to fame. So he thinks he has methods, which he doesn't. He just does like CrossFit shit, and hurts people. So,
yeah, you got to wiggle when you take that. You got to make sure you swing your spine when you try to do that pull up, because that helps.
Got to elevate the gooch.
I just want to give him a swirly in the toilet, and tell him he's adopted or something. Something really mean, but not violent, because I don't want to go to prison.
Well, his mom doesn't love him.
But that's it. That's what's on my mind. I doubt he'll listen to this, but I know some of the fighters, which, by the way, to our listeners, pro fighters do listen to this podcast. So I hope they hear this. And which a lot of them already do agree with me. Fuck that guy. But that's all. Thank you.
I like it. Garbanzo, what's on your mind?
I'm gonna take this with everything that's been going on lately. So last night I worked the overnight shift, which is why, and I appreciate you guys working with my schedule and referencing to make sure that I could be in the podcast. And then I worked overnight last night. I got off at 7:00 this morning. During the course of the overnight shift, someone introduced me. Someone goes, "Listen, go to YouTube and search 846. Just look up 846, the new Dave Chappelle special. Watch it." I'm like, what? I mean, I'm like, oh, he goes, it's gonna change. It's gonna blow your mind. I'm thinking it's gonna be this big, massive hilarity thing because I'm a massive Dave Chappelle fan. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's watching that special. It really kind of like galvanized a lot of my previous thoughts. I have made it very clear to those to my fellow podcasters as well as just people in general. I come from a family of law enforcement. I have a very high respect for law enforcement, but I also have a very high respect for what they're supposed to do. And the more and more I start watching, the more and more I start reading, the more and more I realize that we need to start moving in a different direction. I'm not.
Okay, I thought we lost you. Sorry.
No, sorry. And
dramatic pause. I get you.
My biggest reason for this whole thing is that I everyone kind of like talks about it, like when you have a kid, or this, your mindset changes on things, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, I can solidify this more than ever before. I don't want I want my son to live in a better world than I live in. I don't want my kid to be at a playground hanging out with his friends, and I have to have a conversation on why his friends were treated differently, or by law enforcement, or why was he pulled over with his friends in his car because they were playing, because they're doing nothing wrong. I don't want to have these conversations. I don't want to have to explain to my 10-year-old kid who sees something on TV and ask, why is that happening? I will gladly explain what used to happen, but I don't want to have to explain to him what's currently happening. And I hope that we can continue with the progresses that we've been making so far. I know that there's been a couple things that have been changing. There's still a lot more change that needs to happen. I think that there are certain things that the police should not be dealing with in referencing to mental health care, as well as social services, which is extremely underfunded. There's just a lot. There's a lot, and me and Ray have had many heated discussions over this kind of stuff, and
you have,
because we have two very different ideals on this, but I can guarantee you that we both agree that things need to change, things need to get better, and I hope to fucking God those assholes, those police officers, who don't deserve to wear that shield, they get treated the same exact way that's my thing. I don't agree with the fact is that there's no such thing as because we need to tear down the blue shield. I'm sorry. I come from a father who's ex-narcotics. He's also, God rest his soul, he also did internal affairs in the 80s and the late 80s, early 80s and late 70s for the city of Miami, out of all places, which was a hotbed of corruption back in those days with the cocaine cowboys. And I can tell you right now that he would be furious. He would despise what he's seeing, reversing to the way that the cops are acting. As well as this is, I guess, kind of solidifies that I've always hated the movie Training Day for that same exact reason. I despise that fucking movie more than anything else. That character, I think the reason was, and now I finally realize it, is because I never wanted to take the rose-colored glasses off and realize that is not a fiction. That's a non-fiction movie of shit that's actually happening on a regular basis. And that's why it bothered me for so long. But I see change coming. I'm definitely going to be voting for change. I'm signing the petitions as much as I can and getting things and doing my part. And I hope that everyone listening, along with anyone watching or anyone that understands that, just you have this is your time, this is your chance. Let's make let's end this. This generation currently is going to end it, and I think we should. I think it's about damn time. Sorry about my rant. And when my son sees this in the future,
allegedly.
Well, no, it'll still be on the internet, because everything on the internet stays forever. We know this.
Eternal.
And eventually my son will see this, and I will do everything I can to fight for you. You have my word.
Oh, Mr. Roz, what's on your mind?
What the fuck? It doesn't fucking matter. That was amazing. That's that right there. Just can I copy paste?
Copy
what
paste.
Garbanzo said, just because it was. Oh, by the way, Garbanzo, if you haven't yet, please watch the John Oliver special on police that came out last Sunday.
Oh no, he is one of my favorite. Oh, he's amazing. I can't wait. I gotta watch it.
So it's highly recommended. If you enjoyed the Chappelle thing, was really good. This takes it to another level. Yeah, man, what's on my mind? I got nothing that compares to that. I started replaying Chrono Trigger, so that's
that's not nearly as bad as what's on my mind. So it's good.
So it's still a good game.
It's good. It's good.
Another eternal game right there.
Yes.
I mean, all that's on my mind is that I finally got myself I got a new work editing station chair I'm sitting on right now. It's fantastic. It was a birthday present.
Comfy.
Oh my god, bro! This thing is so comfortable, and I had to, you have to build it. I was like, but it took me like literally 10 minutes to build. Yeah, but oh my gosh, compared to what I was sitting on, was just a random chair. And other than that, I'm actually watching The Last Ship. Finally, I remember watching it a while ago, the first season, and then I caught like season 3 or something. I was like, I don't want to watch this, but I don't know. It's on Hulu, all the seasons. I think I was like, why not? Let me watch The Last Ship. So I'm loving it. I'm loving The Last Ship. That's all. The
Last Ship's awesome.
So that's all that's on my mind. All right. So what is up with Flex? This episode's gonna look terrible.
So what's going on with the Geek Bros?
What's going on with the Geek Bros? I actually have completed editing my new super relevant intro to the Witcher episode. And, no, I did. I put a whole new intro for it. So that was that's pretty good. I put a disclaimer at the front of it to see if maybe a fair use disclaimer might help me with my strike. I haven't uploaded it yet because I just haven't had a moment to and haven't rendered it. It's still on my timeline. And I just created the Instagram little teaser trailer that's going to be released on Monday that you guys are going to see a little bit of that. So it's coming. It's there.
If it doesn't work, just hold it back. And then when Cyberpunk comes out and we beat it, then we can do a post-mortem on Cyberpunk and then release it, bam, back to back.
I like that. That's a good idea. It's a good idea. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm still working on it. I mean, this is the hardest I've ever worked on trying to get an episode released to you guys, especially since we don't have any more original recipe episodes, and I don't know when we're gonna start filming them again. Flex, you gotta come over. And but other than that, yeah, we've got that's the last one that's up there. Patreon actually is I'm actually working really hard on the Patreon. It's really, really coming along. I have to give you guys access to that so you can see what the tiers are and give me feedback on what we're doing. And because I do, there are special tiers for at least,
I'll do a striptease for one of the tiers.
Yeah, well, okay, there you go. Because there's a tier level for me where if you do this particular tier, I will do something. There's a tier level that for Flex that he'll do something. There's a tier level for Garbanzo and he'll do something out on the side. So. It's what I thought we each bring to the table. So, Roz, by all means, when I show it to you, if there's something unique to you that you're willing to do for, and this tier is the $100 tier, by the way.
I'll run a D&D game.
Okay, we can do that one then. All right. So, that's coming along nicely. Again, I'm in no rush to release the Patreon. I mean, it's just there. It's for whatever. It'll help. But it'll be some fun stuff. I'm just making sure that when I do launch it, I launch it with plenty of stuff there, with the blessing of my Geek Bros, and with plenty of content already loaded, so you see what's there. And right now, even though the content is created from past stuff, I'm still working on a schedule to continue having monthly content up there from inebriated reviews, from lost episodes. So I'm looking at my back catalog. So I want to do this, but I want to do this right. And I'm going to time it with the release of the Geek Bros YouTube channel as well. So I'm working really hard for this branding, as this has been the longest branding I've ever done for any freaking project of this studio. But that's it for the Geek Bros. So look forward to that. And of course, you've got our podcasts every week. You got our videos, the long ones that I'm not going to break up for the algorithm. So enjoy that. And that is that. So if this is your first time listening to our broadcast, then please take a moment to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. If you're watching us, then don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. YouTube has recently changed the algorithm to favor corporate channels, so independent productions like our own aren't being recommended. We're reducing our views and it's limiting our exposure to new audience. Without further ado, episode 99.8 starts now. The world as it is today. Now, there was a screenshot from the ACLU of Minnesota on Twitter. Okay, Minnesota. Breaking news. The Minneapolis Police Council members have announced their intent to disband the Minneapolis Police Department and invest in community-led public safety. Now, there's negatives, there's positives, there's conspiracy theories. I'd love to hear what you guys what you think about this concept: disbanding the police department and investing in community-led public safety. We'll start with Darflex.
That's tough because honestly, I gotta say I don't know enough to give you, a good opinion.
Right.
But then, I wish that it didn't have to be like this. I guess cops are held to a certain standard. I wish that standard was upheld, but it seems like it's not. So I mean, I don't know. It could be good. It could be bad. Again, I don't really know enough.
That's an honest answer. Garbanzo.
So I did a little reading on this only because of recent things and I actually talked with Roz. And by the way, Roz, thank you for that. So back in 2012, the Camden, New Jersey PD was actually dismantled and rebuilt. The reasoning behind it was the union. It was the unions were so entrenched that they couldn't afford. They couldn't fire the bad cops because the union had too much power per the contract, as well as they couldn't afford to hire new officers or because it was just so bloated to say.
Do you guys hear that? Do you guys hear that? Don't you? Could you? Yeah, that's not gonna work out. I'm podcasting right now. Whatever you're doing with IC, you got to knock it off. Sorry about that, guys. I'm really sorry, guys. I just saw your faces all look. What is that? I'm like, really? That's a sensitive mic. I apologize. Garbanzo, please carry on.
That was what they ended up doing. Now and they ended up re-establishing what funds need to go where. To everyone says hi. And reestablishing funds into other areas where it wasn't so just all one-sided. If that's what they plan on doing, then I am 100% for it. Bring in more of the community. I don't know what happened there.
I'm sorry.
I really distracted.
I'm not laughing because of what you're saying. You're saying good stuff, but to see Flex go on the phone and then turn his camera up, it's hilarious. Carry on.
But yeah, no. So I'm right now. I don't know what the details entail. I don't know how they're gonna adjust the funding or how they're gonna adjust the union contracts. More than likely, the police force will be brought back in a different format, in a different way. I know everyone's saying defund, dismantle. The problem is that's triggering a lot of conservatives into thinking that means to get rid of the police. That's not what it means. That means to start from scratch. And it doesn't mean that the good cops are not going to get their jobs back, because that's basically what's going to happen. But we are able to filter out the bad seeds, the ones who are causing the issues, causing the problems, who
are turning away when their fellow officers commit atrocities.
Yes. Thank you. But my whole thing is that it's a chance. Well, you've never made me that happy before.
That was a good answer. That was a very good answer. Well done. I would be quiet now.
But I don't know. I am healthily optimistic. That's my point. That's it.
Mr. Roz.
No, man. Again, Garbanzo took the words right out of my mouth. It's a real 180, by the way. I really appreciate saying that. But yeah, Camden, New Jersey is the prime example of it. It's just like wretched with corruption, and the police union had too much power and wasn't letting anything be done. And that's the same thing in Minnesota, Minneapolis specifically. Kroll, which is the head of their police union, is a crazy racist, transphobe, just a total bastard and a half. And they weren't able to
you really feel
fire any police officers for anything they did. The guy that killed George Floyd had, I think, 18, knocks on his record, a sexual assault, like a ton of stuff. Yep. The guy was like dead ass garbage. Couldn't fire him.
Yeah, that's insane. And then I'm starting to notice a trend with police unions lately, how they're going after chiefs and they're going after people in power that are actually they don't agree with them.
Not to completely derail, because this could be a massive conversation by itself, but unions are essentially designed to help the worker negotiate contracts and protect their job, because usually those employees don't really have anything to bargain with. A teacher, what are they going to say? I won't teach. No one cares. That's what you need a union for. Police officers, on the other hand, they can say, hey, I'm not going to police. That's an actual threat. So a police union has a lot of power that they can wield, so they get away with murder, literally. It's not a figurative speech. And it's very difficult to get rid of unions without dismantling a police force. And that's what they're going to do. And, their city council has said, oh, yeah, it's horrible that it's gotten down to this. But their city council themselves have said, they want to defund and rebuild the police force. And I have faith in them doing it. We'll see. And as far as conspiracy theories, shit, nobody's got anything to gain out of this. Maybe the city of Minneapolis is going to spend less money.
Yeah,
that'd be horrible.
My only thing is that you guys are I guess maybe the tweet is poorly written then, because you see that you guys are saying it's more of a reorganization, but when you say disband, it gives a particular.
It triggers you, right?
Exactly. When you hear their intent is to disband the police department and invest in community-led public safety, the first thing I thought of was, who's going to be held accountable for all this community public safety? I was thinking of peace officers. I'm thinking about extreme neighborhood watches. That's immediately what my first mind popped up.
Because you're actually on point with that. Right now police officers do too much. Their plates are overburdened.
Right.
They are keepers of the peace, ostensibly. They're dog catchers. They are psychological support, members. They deal with, homeless support. They deal with, domestic issues, family law issues. That's too much. 90% of those things I just listed, you don't need a guy with a gun for. Full stop.
That's agreed. Agreed.
I will say, though, with domestic, it is probably the most volatile, and having somebody with a gun may save someone's life.
You don't need 10 cops to appear at, and when I say domestic, I'm not talking about domestic violence. I'm talking about somebody calling in a party being too loud.
Oh, yeah. A public service aid should be able to
exactly. You need a public service aid for that. You don't need.
That's if the community or the demographic in question will respect that. You see what I'm saying? This
is a chicken and egg catch-22 situation. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You either make the changes and
right. That's what I'm saying.
That the changes hit,
right,
or you just keep the status quo and let more minorities in our country get killed, with zero repercussions.
Now, I'll give you a perfect example. Let's say you're throwing a party and the guy comes over and goes, "Hey guys, I need you to lower the other music. I need just a service aid," and you're like, "Hey, whatever, fine." All right. Then he comes back, knocks the door again, and guys, listen, if you guys don't, I'm gonna start fining you. Okay, fine. Fine me. Okay, cool. For every 10 minutes that you don't keep your music going, I'm gonna fine you $10,000. Watch how fast they lower that fucking music.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you're saying.
Or they jump the guy, and then the guys with the guns come out.
Well, no, I'm not.
And everyone has a party anyway.
I'm not saying we would jump them, but it's like I'm thinking about the cliche '90s how teenagers treat rent-a-cops in malls kind of situation. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a rent-a-cop. This is a public service agent.
That I know that. But the community in question, would they recognize it and respect it? And that is their problem. But if the person in question is not isn't received as an authoritative figure, then they're not going to respect it. And you can tell them, fine, you can charge me $10,000. I won't pay it. I'll go to court. I won't pay it. And then you'll keep going further and further and further.
Because
I get what you're saying.
Well, then the whole thing is it's immediate. Because at that point in time, they're given the opportunity to abide the law. Once they continue and refuse to abide the law, that's when the police officer would come in. And then at that point, it's also to minimize calls to the cops. Because imagine you're there actually doing a job, and you get called to a freaking house party because some random kids don't want to get. It's taking away from being able to respond to an actual emergency.
No, I totally agree. I'm not refuting the merits of this what you're proposing, what's being proposed. I'm just saying is that I'm thinking about just a random Joe Smurl, and they're not going to.
Oh no, I concur.
If they're not, if you're not showing up with, and even when they show up with guns, they don't care sometimes. So imagine somebody's coming up and they are non-lethal, and you're like, so it's like one more. It's like the longer.
What's the hypothetical line though, man? I mean, at some point you can keep saying like, oh, what if they don't do this? What if they don't do that? What if they don't care about this?
I'm not saying. I'm literally saying that they don't.
Yeah.
Most people will not give two shits about a piece.
I counter that. I think most people would give a shit. You know.
Really?
Like if you're having a house party and some dude comes by and he's a civil servant, a civil officer, and that person can write a $10,000 fine, and they say, "Hey, shut up," I'm gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, I don't want to pay $10,000." That's because you're a rational being.
Most people, but no. See, I don't believe that. A person is smart. But people are dumb, idiotic fools, and you know it. That's from Men in Black, and I've always believed that phrase. A person by themselves is intelligent. People, though, aren't that, you know? See, I don't have.
So I think all police officers should just roll around with M4s. I didn't say probably a grenade launcher. And if there's a party, they should just launch a grenade into the front door of the party and just shut it down that way.
I'm just putting up the reality of the live in.
It is pretty effective.
It is.
Roz, I think he's more talking about the fact is that in current surroundings right now, there is a lack of respect for authority. Now, that also has to do with the way that authority has been handling themselves. That is true. But that does not mean that once things get restructured, that they're going to be able to all of a sudden be like, okay, now things are different. I'm going to start respecting them.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that's what happens.
Your example, Garbanzo, Camden, New Jersey, when they made the big change, it wasn't a night and day situation. It's taken them years to get to the point where the community respects their police officers again. And they have a ton of community outreach, and they're constantly doing things where their civil, public, and police officer servants are all dealing with the community as often as they can, because, like you guys are saying, most Americans don't trust the police. So, you know, at first, yeah, there's probably going to be some pushback, but, you know, you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet at this point.
And with that being said, we're going to move on to what's new in the gaming world. Video games out this week. Flex, do you have that up? You have that ready?
I do.
Good,
I mean,
perfect.
It's not that much, unfortunately.
Okay. So, is there any video games out this week? Question mark.
Yeah, just 3. I mean, as far as what happened on the list, was just 3.
Okay.
Probably more. I don't know, maybe. But we starting with June 11th. We have Samurai Showdown for the PC.
That sounds familiar.
Oh, good game.
That was like a PlayStation or a Saturn game or something, right? Okay, good. That's what I thought. I know that sounded familiar.
Then we have Samurai Showdown Neo Geo Collection for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. And lastly, we have Beyond Blue for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Flex. So we're moving on to our first topic. Need for Speed Heat becomes the first EA game to get crossplay. Now, this article comes from Kotaku.com. Need for Speed Heat is getting crossplay starting June 9th, which is already passed, making it the first EA game to let people from different platforms finally play together. The feature is getting added to the game's final update, due out. What? Okay. Yeah, I hate when you guys do that. You text me when I'm talking. Once it's live, players will be able to opt in crossplay for the game settings and race against whomever, whether they are on PS4, Xbox One, or PC. It'll also be possible to search for people you know on their platforms using the EA Friends tab, as long as they opted into crossplay. So, that's great. I don't play these games. I don't know if any of you guys play these games. What I'm saying is I like the idea that crossplay is gonna be the new thing.
Yeah,
I hope this is gonna catch on. So,
Wifey is a huge Need for Speed fan. I'm gonna have to get this game, and it's great because no matter what platform her brother ends up getting, whether it's the PS5 or the Xbox X Series, he's gonna be able to chill and race with us. So that's gonna be awesome to check out.
Mr. Roz.
Shit, man, more crossplay is better. No Man's Sky just got their crossplay patch a couple days ago.
Oh,
so
yes.
Yeah, I mean, the more games that have it, the better. And you know, I'm really glad it's finally happening because do you guys know why crossplay has been basically, you know, at a standstill for like the last 5 or 6 years?
Because these companies don't want to play together.
Because Sony has been basically blocking it.
It's Sony by himself, really?
Yeah, Sony has been basically saying, no thanks, we don't want to crossplay. But I guess finally...
And they made all sorts of excuses over the years, like the bandwidth is different.
My personal favorite was we want to be able to protect children because, you know, we can't tell what people are going to do on other platforms. And just, you know, to be sure, Nintendo then undercut them and started doing crossplay before Sony. And if there's any console or any company that is all about the kids, it's fucking Nintendo. So
can we like, you know, definitively say that crossplay is gonna be the thing the next generation? Like,
sure.
Oh,
it's already the thing now. Like it's getting to the point where like you find
I really do love
fewer games without it. Like Apex Legends crossplay.
Really? I thought this was a new thing because
Call of Duty is crossplay.
I didn't know that either.
PUBG is crossplay.
Did not know that.
All we need now is EA to jump on the bandwagon. So when the new Star Wars game comes out, it's crossplay.
Yes.
Well, do you guys remember when Shadowrun came out? It was one of the first
I do.
crossplay games I ever played.
Yeah, it was a terrible game. But
the tabletop RPG is better.
The game had nothing to do with the tabletop RPG. It was a travesty.
Yeah. Just the characters, no? Like just the appearance.
Yeah, if like it's such a stretch too. But yeah, crossplay shit. I'm all about it. Please, more.
Crossplay. I can't wait. All right, we're gonna move on to. Yes, that too. The UK is considering reclassifying video game loot boxes as gambling. This article comes from Gizmodo.com. It's in order to help protect children from the lure of loot box-based microtransactions and possibly becoming addicted to gambling. The Guardian reports that the UK Department of Digital, Culture, Media and Sport, maybe it should say sports, has launched a new investigation this week that could potentially ban the use of loot boxes in games sold to people under age 18. Currently, loot boxes aren't considered to be gambling because while they can be purchased for money and the prizes are based on chance, the item received aren't considered to have real monetary value. So, I thought we got over this whole loot box trying to, you know, outlaw
it's until they get rid of it, it'll never be gone.
Yep.
Really?
Because this is an actual thing. I'm gonna say right now, me personally, in reference to loot boxes, I have spent so much money over the years, unnecessary. And I stopped playing ESO because I started doing the loot box thing on ESO. I literally I had to cut cold turkey. I canceled my subscription. No more loot boxes. No more extra. I couldn't do it because I saw my credit card bills. My credit card limit go down by a third, and I'm not going to tell you how much it was because I don't want to reiterate how much I spent on that game because it hurts me. But never again.
Oh my God,
man!
Do you think?
But I have a really cool ghost horse that I can ride around in.
I'm so proud of you. But do you guys really think? Do you think it should be? I wouldn't say outlawed, but restricted to 18 and above?
Hell yeah, it should be outlawed.
Oh,
outlawed. Get rid of it.
Kill them.
Get rid of it.
In video games and also in in mobile games too, like all across.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you one thing. He goes, you want to keep loot boxes? That's fine, but make it the person can earn through play.
Yeah.
Sure.
Then
but most loot box systems you can earn them. I mean, it's small and stupid. It's not the high. Of course, not the high end stuff because of course. I mean, but that's what they're going to tell you. That's going to be the defense.
Game that actually has it like that.
The reason they're outlawing it is because it is gambling. You know, because you spend a certain amount of money, and you don't know what the fuck you're going to get. Like already, Belgium and the Netherlands have outlawed it because it breaks their gambling laws. And hopefully it keeps blowing through the European Union, and hopefully America does something about it too. Because if you want to sell something, listen, I despise microtransaction DLC. I hate that shit. And I really hate when games are pay to win. However, if you really want to sell your DLC, sell the fucking item. Don't sell a box that might get you the thing.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Like Warframe.
Okay.
Warframe.
Okay.
If you want to go ahead and spend
if you
the
want
money
a
to get
COD
something,
piece in fucking Warframe, buy your fucking COD piece.
but at the same time, it also gives you the option to grind the fuck out of it and get it yourself.
Yeah, for your dick sheath.
And you know, it's funny because me and the previous host, Juancho, had a pretty similar argument. He's like, man, for Battlefront, for Star Wars, he was bitching about the loot crates. I'm like, you know, the reason I don't like it is because, first of all, you fucking suck, and I can get all my stuff. I don't actually play the game. I don't want you to have the opportunity to pay to be at my level, you little bitch. So that was the argument that we had.
The Battlefront argument, dude. I'm glad you brought that up. Did you see how long it would take to unlock the DLC? Literally thousands of hours, human flesh and blood hours, or spend $60 to get whatever you wanted.
Yeah. Luckily, I love the game. I got all my purple cards through grinding, but it was tedious.
So no, man, to answer your question, please fucking burn it all to the ground. Kill loot boxes.
Yes.
Except for the ones that you can
by anime store. Yeah. That's different. That's different. No,
that's different. No, we want those. We want those boxes. That's the bread and butter of unboxing. So, all right, we're gonna move on to EA announces Star Wars Squadrons. Now, Garbanzo, you sent this link in the group chat, right? So I just basically copy pasted it. So, what does that say? East.
Okay, so
what?
The reason
Easter. What does that say? Oh, right, EA Star Wars. EA Star Wars.
This was leaked.
I said Easter Wars. Yeah. Like, I'm like, what the hell?
This was actually leaked. It was not supposed to be announced yet. They were holding off on, and they were going to do it on Monday. So now because the picture, the cover picture, ended up getting leaked. It was I think it was like Mavericks. It was like Star Wars Maverick that supposedly had something to do with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right.
And so, but then when the leak came out, EA decided to preemptive strike and say, hey guys, on Monday on 8, I think it's 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard.
Yeah,
8 a.m.
8 a.m. Pacific Standard.
So yeah, it's going to be Monday, June 15th at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which I think is 11 o'clock here on the East Coast. They're going to give us a trailer and give us more details. But if just by the name, we're finally getting a flying game, a pure flight sim, Star Wars flight sim.
I have a quick question. Now I'm looking at the screen picture. Well, for the new stuff, but I mean, is that the Rebel pilot? Who is that supposed to be? Are we supposed to recognize that Rebel pilot? Look at the picture.
I have to relook at it again
because those are some voluptuous lips. I was all I can say, like really plump lips.
Probably
on this.
Just somebody we don't know.
I wonder.
Michael B. Jordan.
But that, I mean, I was looking at them. I was like, that's. Are you looking at it, Garbanzo?
I'm trying to. We have so many.
Recognize that pilot?
Like just trying to go through all the. That's really horrible.
No, it's close. It's real close. That's what she said.
Wait, hold on. That's not the other one. Hold on. Oh, JJ, because JJ sent it. There it is.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I was looking for me. That's why.
Because I thought you sent it, but I guess.
No, I sent it in the group message on Instagram.
Oh, did you mean Geek Bros with a 0 on Instagram? GEKBR0S?
That's exactly the one.
Please follow. Up there it is.
Perfect.
Click it. Tell us if you do. Anybody else out there listening? If we're supposed to recognize that pilot with the lips, by all means,
I'm telling you, it's nobody.
I don't think it's
is it nobody?
No, it's nobody. Okay. I'm telling you, it's for sure.
I don't. Just the face. The face looks like it's somebody that we should recognize. I don't know. That's why I'm doing it.
You're just falling in love, man. That's all it is.
With the lips, you're right. Some luscious lips.
Maybe it may be a representation. Maybe maybe they'll bring in what's her name, who actually ends up being the spy on Batu.
Who's that?
She was a pilot as well.
No, but that doesn't look like her at all, though.
I'm betting this is just like new stuff. People we don't know.
Yeah.
I hope so. That'd be awesome.
Man, I'm really looking forward to this.
What do you guys think it is?
Rogue Squadron? It's totally not a reboot, but it's totally like the spiritual successor to Rogue Squadron. That's my guess.
Yes.
The team that's making it is EA Motive, and this is going to be like their first actual game built from the ground up because they've worked on like Battlefront and I think Battlefield before, but it's kind of like you know finishing on the games, doing like some mercenary work, working on multiplayer or this or that. But this is a good design team. It was put together by Jade Raymond, who was originally at Ubisoft, and she's the one that basically got Assassin's Creed off the ground. So it's got a really good pedigree. They recently, last year, I think, hired Kim Swift, and Kimberly Swift was the design director for a couple of little games you guys might have heard of called Portal and Left 4 Dead.
Thank you. That's where her name was so familiar from. It was like the Left 4 Dead series.
So it's got a really good, I guess, team working there now, and they've got a good pedigree behind them. So hopefully this is going to be good. We will never have the opportunity to see a new game by Factor 5, which is the team that made the original Rogue Squadron games, because they're essentially defunct. So this is the best we're going to get, and I'm really psyched.
Rogue Squadron 2 is my favorite.
And also, by the way, if you want to, you can actually they actually have a countdown on YouTube with an active chat right now, and you can actually set a reminder to let you know when to jump on. I'm not saying I am doing that or anything. I'm just letting you know that that's
watch this be watch it. The biggest joke on us, and it's actually like fucking Fallout Shelter.
I like Fallout Shelter.
Why would you do that to me?
I like Fallout Shelter.
And I hope that if they do this, maybe for the next gen.
What it looks like?
Oh, for sure. The amount of money they're putting into this, it's going to be next gen. They're not going to release it this year.
She kind of looks like that chick from Alphabet Squadron a little bit now.
From who?
Yes.
Alphabet Squadron.
Yeah.
Oh, like if you look from her nose down, it kind of looks just like her.
I didn't read the book. Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna move on to Sony's PS5 event. It is 1 hour and 14 minutes and 24-second video that I have not watched. So, Mr. Roz and you gentlemen, take over for this. What was discussed? And hit it.
I just want to say one thing.
Hit it.
We're getting a new Ratchet & Clank.
Yeah, man. About time, right?
I've never played.
Oh my god!
Oh, it's such a good game, bro. You gotta try.
Yeah, that's a really good series.
I've never played.
I was not, and I've mentioned it before in chat, and I mentioned it before you guys over the phone, and even in group, whatever we're talking. I was not planning on buying this. I do not want to, because I'm more of an Xbox guy than a PlayStation guy. I have solidified that I am already. Me and wife already spoke about this, and she's okay with it now. Well, depending on how things go with the baby and everything, of course, he comes first.
Allegedly.
But there will be a PS5 in my household.
Mm-hmm.
Wow! Just because of Ratchet and Clank?
It's a good game,
and a few other things. But
that's
yes,
that's something I would say.
Is probably the biggest thing. But actually, I got my PS3 because of Ratchet and Clank.
I mean, I only bought PlayStations for the Kingdom Hearts series, and when they were. So I get you.
And also for what's that? And actually, there's one called Godfall.
I think it's Godfall.
Near Automata? What?
No, it's called Godfall. It's the game that I was watching the trailer for. It's a very much a button smashing, unlock stuff, but it still looks like it looks pretty enough. And that Tokyo one. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Roz. Guys, sorry, I don't want to.
Yeah, you lost.
No, dude.
Keep
talking. That's perfect. Yeah.
Keep going. Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about. Keep going.
Godfall looks all right. It totally looks like a this gen game that looks prettier, right?
Like a this gen.
It does.
Like there's nothing like watching the gameplay. I was like, okay, like it looks nice.
And I'm so curious about Meow.
Yeah, Meow looks good. You know what looks really like? I don't think I'll ever play the game. And it's gonna be multi-platform. Like 70% of those games or more are multi-plat. So you'll be able to play it on whatever system you have. But Bug Snacks was the weirdest shit.
Yeah, I don't think I got that far.
I've ever seen. It's made by the guys that made Octodad. It just.
I don't think I made it.
Look at the trailer. It is weird as hell. Man. But Ratchet and Clank. I'm psyched for Ratchet. I'm psyched for Horizon, the new Horizon game.
That intro trailer. Oh shit!
Yes.
Man, that looks good.
I did like how they're talking about the haptic system and referencing to the controller, how the new controller is going to work. It does look interesting. I don't have a PS4, so I can't compare how much of a difference is coming. But coming from a PS3 to going to a PS5, that's a huge difference.
That's a jump. You have a Switch, right?
Yeah.
And you turn on the Rumble on your Switch?
Of course.
You have an Xbox?
Yeah.
Turn on the Rumble on your Xbox?
Yeah.
All right, there's your haptics. That's literally their HD haptics. It's just like on the Switch. If you have 1-2 switch and you shake it, it does like, oh, it feels like water drops and shit. It's the same shit. That's all.
Oh, but I will say that one thing I was impressed is the mic attachment. It's actually embedded into that, so the controllers will come with a mic and their own speaker.
You mean the hole in every controller?
No. Actually, no. It's an actual.
Oh, you mean the microphone that's on the actual?
Yeah, with no
controller.
headset required.
Oh, don't. Like, they themselves, when Mark Cerny did his reveal about a month and a half ago, when they were going down the specs, they were like, you could use this if you want to. And he was kind of like trailing off. Use a headset. It is not meant to be used as the primary microphone at all. Like, don't be the guy with his Xbox connected with the Kinect across the room, and all you hear is like, hey,
that was me.
Hey, can you hear me? No, don't be that asshole. Plug a fucking headset into your controller. No, that's not. No, that's like the PlayStation 4 has a little tiny tinny speaker in it now. That doesn't mean you can play your game and just use that speaker.
All right, valid.
They're relaunching Grand Theft Auto 5, which is.
Oh boy.
I mean, for me, it's cool. I don't know. Fuck you guys.
I'm sorry. Game came out in 2013. I've bought it twice over already. I don't need a third fucking iteration.
I don't know.
It's
but
free.
I only have for the Xbox.
But it's free, exactly. If you have the Xbox, just plug it in and it'll update.
Well, actually, no. They actually said it for those who are the owners for the who have it for the PS4. They get it for free on the release on the PS5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You don't have
that's
to rebuy
the thing
it.
With games now, moving forward, if you have a game and a version comes out that's going to be cross-platform, PlayStation 4 to 5 or Xbox One to Series X, it's just going to upgrade. Microsoft made a big deal about it with their smart delivery. Sony's been talking about it, so I'm very happy about that. Like, if you buy Cyberpunk 2077,
yes,
and then you buy a new Xbox or a new PlayStation, it'll upgrade to that version.
I look forward to that. I'm not gonna lie.
It's great. But I really liked a lot of the videos. But the thing that the internet is talking about, losing their minds over, is how batshit crazy that console looks. It looks like something.
Is there a timestamp on the video that shows it?
I could just send you pictures of it.
No, I know, but I want to see.
It looks like something you'd find at the sharper image in the year 2001.
Oh, there it is. It's like 1 hour and 11 minutes and 58 seconds. What is this? Oh my god!
It's an air ionizer.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a fan that looks just like that right over there.
Who designed this?
I don't know. I thought Sony was going down the line of like
the colors was cool.
Yeah. You guys remember the George Foreman grill, PlayStation 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I own that one.
So do I. I thought that they were going to move away from, hey, let's make some weird shaped consoles. The PlayStation 4 was beautifully shaped.
I agree.
This is the best picture, and I think Roz, you want to send us. Hold on. So this is the picture of the new.
Oh yeah.
It's literally that's all it is. It's a modem with two letters. That's all
why?
it is. I don't know, man.
I don't understand it. It's tall as hell too. That's the thing that is really remarkable. How huge it is.
That's what she said.
Yeah, she did. But I will say this though. What kind of irks me is that, and hopefully they come with multiple stands, because you need a stand to lay it down.
Yeah, you need a stand to be upright. For both orientations.
Yes.
For vertical and horizontal orientation, you need a stand.
But no, I don't see a stand. It's laying down right now. There's no stand.
Sure, I'll show you the picture.
Trust me, there's a stand, because the whole thing is it's curved. So if you just put it on the side without a stand, it's gonna rock.
That's what she said.
You're stretching it today, man.
Yeah. Quick question: when it comes to the next gen consoles, are you two the kind of guys who will get it on release or wait a little bit just in case?
Oh, I always wait because of bugs and crap like that. I don't ever.
Click that link.
I don't ever, and I can't ever get it when at launch, because there's always a problem usually with these things.
I'm telling you right now, I always.
Oh wow, yeah, this looks like something you'd get on from one of those like
those stores.
Sky Mall.
Yeah, like
Sky Mall catalog.
Or like the bootleg looking videos game sets kind of thing you get.
It doesn't
look like a first party
I know, yeah, like the Pony Station 360.
Yeah, it looks like
Pony Station. I forgot about that shit.
Jesus.
I don't know, man. It just looks bad.
I don't like it. You guys listening, by all means, email us and let us know what you think about this design because
I mean, I'm assuming they added a little bit more airflow on the top of the bottom, hopefully for the fans to keep it cool. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to justify it.
Runs so hot every time I play a game on the PlayStation Pro. It sounds like an air taking off.
It looks like an Apple product is eating a Sony product.
Oh shit!
That's what it looks like to me. It looks like Apple is eating Sony.
And if you look at the controller, it kind of looks like it looks like a white Xbox controller wearing a black wife beater.
Yes.
Roz, you have won the internet today.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That is awesome.
I'm actually this.
Roz, I need you to find a white guy wearing a black wife beater and put it in this controller and post that online, please. Post it on the Geek Bros something, please.
I'll find it, yeah.
I'm saying right now, because of the way this controller is kind of laid out, which actually does look eerily similar, just grip-wise to the Xbox now, I'm going to be a little bit more comfortable with it. And I think they probably did that on purpose for individuals like myself who was never a huge fan of the paddles, the way that they had it set up, where it's going to be easier, similar to triggers.
Yeah. And I think they admitted defeat. When it comes to controller design, they've admitted that the Xbox kind of had it.
I think so too.
My complaint will always be the joysticks. I like asymmetrical joysticks. I don't like them both at the bottom. I like one on the top left because that's the most frequently and most comfortable used area for your thumb.
I can see that. You're right. Yeah.
When was the last time we saw that though? Was that a GameCube?
No, Xbox. The Xbox and the Switch.
Yep. Right. They
both have asymmetrical.
The minute you said it, I immediately went to GameCube because I remember that. So yeah. Oh my God, yes. Yeah. I'm playing Xbox. Why did I notice that?
The funny thing is that if Sony tries to do that now, they're gonna
people are gonna be like
everyone's gonna be like, ha ha ha, we knew you'd finally come to the light, but they'll never do it.
I don't know. I really like that release and that preview and all the gameplay videos, but the console itself is so bad looking.
I mean, I would love to be a fly on the wall when the designer said, "That's the look we're going for. We like this look. This looks fantastic."
That was designed by someone's kid, for sure.
Right, but I would love to know who said, "Yes, that's it right
Billy,
there."
Billy, I need your help. The guys are asking me questions, and I really don't know what would you like to see?
White, black. I want it's like Pac-Man eating something black. Just give it to me.
It's gonna have lights, and I want it to be kind of round and I want it to be kind of like spaceship, like Flight the Navigator.
Red lights.
Awesome movie.
Red lights.
Awesome movie, Flight of the Navigator. Still
one of my favorite. It's Paul Rubin plays a fantastic spaceship.
My favorite thing about this whole thing is that the console looks like a dude with a pop collar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like legit, it's like this is a Miami video system. It just belongs in
I think it's about time they finally tailored a console's design to Westerners. I'm glad. It's about time.
I sent you an image.
I feel more at home. Well, let me see this. Yeah, that's a damn shame. Good. That is a damn shame. So all right, we gotta move. Anything else about the PS5, the future of gaming show?
No, sir.
No,
man. Can't really think of anything.
Yeah, you did say something, right, Flex? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, we're moving on to Gadgets R Us. Woo-hoo. Microsoft issues new strike to the Chrome with this stunning browser move. Now, among the new features that with Microsoft Edge, it has added a tool that will hide annoying notification prompts when you're browsing the web, and the browser's appeal spans both consumers, business and consumers. Sorry, Microsoft Edge 83 or 8 cubed? I don't know, 83 or 8/3. I don't know. Also comes with some features such as profile switching that make things much easier for those who are working from home during COVID-19. From what I've read, it just sounds like Chrome, but that's just me. And why I'm bringing it up is because I'm seeing this commercial a lot all across Hulu, and it doesn't actually tell you what it is. It just says the future is now. Microsoft Edge.
It's just a browser.
That's pretty much all it's saying. So I had to look this thing up. So it is a browser, but it's supposed to be the Chrome killer. But why? You know what? And that that logo is really interesting too.
So I'm using that browser. That's my day to day.
Oh yeah,
Edge
I
browser.
use Chrome. Okay,
and for example, like Darth Flex at his job, that's going to be the default browser moving forward after summer.
I changed it back to Chrome.
So it's essentially a really good browser built on the Chromium engine, which is a back end renderer for browsers. It's just really good. It can do everything Chrome can do, only it runs a little lighter. It uses less memory. It can even run Chrome add-ons.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so Roz, are you trying to tell me that I should switch over?
I've been using it as my day-to-day. I see no reason to switch over. If you're more comfortable with Chrome, stick with Chrome. You can even import all your passwords directly to it. The keychain can be imported to the browser.
Really? Okay. I don't even think I have Edge.
Yeah. If you have Windows 10, you have Edge. You just got to update it to the current version.
Edging.
How do I update it?
I'll send you a link, and then you can do it.
Could this potentially be the Google Plus to the Facebook?
No, because it's the standard browser for Microsoft products. So
you
just
can't. It up there. You can't. You can't have it.
You can't not have it.
So not,
by the way, I found it. I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
Gonna do it right now.
It's just really good. It gets a lot of adoption, and Chrome has been really dropping the ball lately. Like, it runs crazy heavy. It has a lot of memory leaks. The big competitor to Chrome was Firefox, but Firefox has also not been firing on all cylinders lately. So it's really surprising to see Microsoft pick up the ball and run with it like this.
All right.
I'm really happy to see this because Microsoft hasn't had a what's the word? A
good browser.
A good browser since like Internet Explorer first came out because it was the only one.
And because Netscape sucked so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, Netscape. We miss you. And AIM. All right, well, we're going to move on to Open Mic.
Open Mic!
Okay. Superman's newest power is also his most devastating. His article comes from ScreenRant.com. As if Superman wasn't already overpowered, there's the Man of Steel's most modern ability, and it's coined by Batman. It's called Super Flare. Basically, it's where he harnesses all the energy. What?
I'm sorry.
Solar flare.
Pretty much. But that's what it is. Basically, he goes supernova by releasing all the power in his cells, and that's what blasts a huge energy out, and it's crazy. Now, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't even know when he'd ever need to use such a power for this, but for what purpose would he need this attack Super Flare? Anybody who's Superman heavy, by all means.
I mean, there's people don't understand, like, Superman isn't the most. He's got plot armor, okay, and even then it's failed a couple times.
Yeah.
Okay, but he is technically not the most powerful creature in the universe.
Who is?
Batman with prep time.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the screenshots right now of that. That's amazing. Holy crap. Who's he blasting that? I'm sorry. Carry on.
He just turns into Vegeta when he tries to kill.
He does. Yeah. He self-destructs. Right.
Yeah.
It looks good though. I'd love to see that in animation form.
But yeah, Garbanzo, finish what you were saying, because you were.
Because there's other villains out there, honestly, who. And honestly, I can't go through it right now because I can't remember right now off the top of my head because I didn't get a chance to.
Anti-Monitor. Boom! There you go.
Okay, perfect. The Anti-Monitor. Actually, Gonth. Gonth is actually, well, he's one of the Guardians, the old Guardians of Will for the Green Lanterns.
Any magic villain.
Oh, dude, Spectre. Spectre is technically 10 times more powerful than Supes.
Zatanna in a bad mood.
But he has to blast them with a freaking nuclear bomb. I mean,
no, I think it's kind of like it's fail safe. It's fail safe. Right. I think, and there's nothing. I think what they wanted to do was to justify him being able to one shot somebody who's destroyed everybody else.
Right.
That's what this is. This is This is a loophole that they're depositing in now, afraid in case they can't get them, if they write themselves into a corner, they have a way to get out.
This is a classic example of a Deus Ex Machina. Just
holy shit, that's actually really well stated.
Well, on the other side, it does leave Superman essentially powerless for the next 24 hours until the cells recharge. So I guess there's a recharge, work with that. But I mean, the screenshot I'm looking at is freaking fucking boss. I love it. It looks amazing. I completely like it. I want to see that DC somehow, some way in the next animated series you have, give him a reason to go supernova on somebody and like, oh my god, what did I do? And turn back time. I don't care, but I want to see this animated. But it has to be as beautiful as these panels right here that I'm looking at. I mean, wow. Simply amazing. All right, we're going to move on to Cobra Kai Season 3 won't debut on YouTube.
What?
This article comes from GameSpot.com. Deadline is reporting that Sony TV has shopped the already completed third season around. This came to pass when YouTube reportedly told Sony it would air Season 3, but would not order any more future seasons. While it's believed that all the streaming services approached were interested, and has come down to Netflix and Hulu as potential homes for the series. So that's pretty much what's been delaying Season 3. Sony that YouTube will not be picking up the show after Season 3. They'll air it, and that's about it. And I guess that show, I can see longevity in that show. It's great. I love it. I'm really hoping they bring back what's her name? They killed her in The Boys. Come on.
Elizabeth Schumann, man.
Yes. I hope they bring her back. I'm dying for them because she's been like, what do you mean? Why not? I mean, her memory is like haunting both of these dudes, in especially in Season 2. It was even if she colored for a little bit.
All I can say is this: I miss her from 2 movies. My two favorite things watching. I think she was good.
Adventures in Babysitting
is one, and the second one is, see if you can get it.
Don't say Back to the
Saint.
Yep.
Was that right?
Yep.
Oh man, I'm amazing.
My 2 favorite Elizabeth Shue movies that she's in is The Adventures of Babysitting and The Saint.
That's it.
That's it. I think we're done with the episode. That was amazing. we gotta close on that shit. Oh, sorry. That was a Step Brothers moment right there. You guys should have just quoted that right after. Are we best friends? What? Are we best?
That would have been a great. If you guys had followed it with that, it would have been great. So Season 3, not on YouTube, which is great. I don't have to pay for it again because that's what I did. I paid for YouTube Premium just so I could watch it, and then I canceled it. Between Netflix and Hulu,
Swamp Thing.
I mean, between Netflix and Hulu, where would you guys want to see it go to, or throw it something else?
Netflix because I'm paying for Netflix, or Hulu because I'm paying for.
Right. I mean, out of both of them,
I would prefer to see it on Hulu. I'll be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would. I mean, the commercials. I'd personally want to see it on Netflix.
Pay the extra money, get rid of the commercials, like I do.
No, never.
The Netflix. I don't have a horse in the race.
Yeah, I personally would rather see it on Netflix. I think Netflix has a.
Oh, speaking of streaming, I have one major complaint about HBO Max.
That sucks.
Besides the whole thing, I mean, didn't we cover that last thing? How
yes, but I'm just saying. No, but they have some. I mean, like the friend. They put in a lot of fucking commercials for their own shit?
Yeah.
That's annoying as fuck.
You mean before they play something, or in between?
Both.
Really? They have like ad breaks. They have YouTube ad breaks.
Yes. They're like some of them are like 10 seconds, 15 seconds long, or 20 seconds long, but it's not. They're not like super long but don't you have to pay for it's still. I pay for this. I don't want to.
I'm telling you guys, people are going like it really stopped for a while. People were pirating a lot less, but you were going to see so many more people sailing the digital high seas because of this shit.
Because of all the streaming services, you mean?
All the streaming services are like it's basically turning into cable all over again.
Yeah. Definitely that. Except it's probably more expensive after a while. Hey, Flex, you saw Cobra Kai, right? You're good with you liked Cobra Kai?
Yes, I
okay. So exactly. So long story, so it's not gonna be on YouTube Season 3, and they're shopping it around. What streaming service would you like to see it on? Since it's not gonna be on YouTube Season 3 going forward.
Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll.
maybe Hulu or Netflix, really. I don't know. Honestly, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna find some way to watch it. I mean, I didn't pay to see it on YouTube.
Okay. No, that's not true. I mean, of course he saw it. He saw it. He saw it with me.
Pornhub might pick it up.
Pornhub picks it up.
They legitimately have like non-porn stuff on it. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been a joke, I think, but I'm pretty serious about having the podcast on Pornhub. It's a good.
You know what? How about this? As a celebration for us finally getting back together again, since we're definitely not going to make the 100th episode, or the second go around for the 100th episode, I think we should have a serious discussion on the podcast about putting our stuff on Pornhub.
99.9 alpha, 99.9 beta.
Yep. We can start going alphanumeric, guys. Alphanumeric. We got numbers. We got numbers.
And then after we go through all of the letters, we start using gamma, delta.
Don't get me wrong. I was literally gonna start going with 99A, 99B, 99C. Perfect. But I'm getting. That was the next round. It was gonna give me another 26 or 27 weeks. But I wouldn't say I'm getting complaints, but people are kind of annoyed with it. They're like, this is annoying. All I see is 99 for the last 2 months now. It's driving them nuts and it's messing with their whatever. So I decided that once we reach 99.9, that's it. It's gonna be 100. It's gonna be 100, but I'm gonna put it like unofficial 100 and keep going, or just go 101. Maybe I'll just go 101. And
God, yeah, I see. Just
and we swing back around. You know what I'm saying?
Back around. Now we're finally back to our 100th episode.
Okay, so we'll do 101 after 99.9. I guarantee those who are really annoyed about it, we're gonna jump to 101 because I really want
one request.
What's that?
If we do that and we skip and go back to the 100, we need to start the video with all of us. And do the and fade out.
Yeah, a time fade. I'm 100%.
We got to do a time fade. We got to do a time fade and back to the 100th episode, a la Wayne's World.
Okay, well then remind me, and I will do it. We'll absolutely do it. I'm down. All right, we're gonna move on to John Favreau says The Mandalorian Season 2 is on track despite COVID-19 shutdown. This article comes from Gizmodo.com. Speaking at a virtual panel for the ATX Television Festival, Favreau said principal photography was completed pre-pandemic on season 2 of Mandalorian. Yep, which sees Pedro Pascal return as the baby Yoda cuddling bounty hunter on the run from Moff Gideon. So, and the rest of the Galactic Empire. He said Lucasfilm has managed to transition the show's post-production into a remote working environment, and everything is moving relatively smoothly. He says, and I quote, "We were lucky enough to finish photography before the lockdown. Thanks to how technologically forward, Lucasfilm and ILM are, we've been able to do all of our visual effects and editing and post-production remotely through the system, and have been able to set up these companies for us. So that means that we will be getting it when it comes out, I believe in the fall, where I don't think it gave us a time. Did it say October? I want to say. But yes, that's great. Now, of course, there's rumors about live-action Ezra, live-action Ahsoka Tano, live-action Boba Fett, Boba Fett returning, live-action Sabine Wren. One, how do you guys feel about the fact that we're not going to be, losing any steam on season 2? And what do you think, or what do you want from this season?
Just anything, please. Just give me something on Disney Plus.
I'm happy.
I don't give a shit. Anything.
I'm happy.
You're happy. Good.
Have you not been watching the prop thing, the prop one? It's a fantastic fucking series.
What prop one?
The documentary series?
It's so good.
Or is that what you're talking about, though?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm caught up on all that shit.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Dude,
like the 7 things that Disney Plus has that are original. I'm done. I ate them all.
That prop one is so... I cried during the Muppets episode.
It's really good. It really is. They just need more content.
Thank you. I need more original content.
Anything.
I for some reason I had the perception that they had new content, original content coming out back to back to back.
They were supposed to.
They did.
Once it's like how Mandalorian ended, then Clone Wars began. Then when Clone Wars ended, something else would start. Like that's what I thought. They had planned it.
But I really do think that maybe some COVID may have to pull the steam out of some of the sales. Some of the stuff is actually extended. They actually said it's going to be coming out 2021. They said it was going to be coming out 2021. Yeah, but it's the same thing. The same thing with HBO Max. They're like, here's a year of all the stuff we've had for all before. Next year we're going to start getting more stuff. Here's a few little tidbits and tastes.
And
And I think
it's fairly recent. COVID would only postpone things that were currently in pre-production.
Exactly, and it's really surprising.
Yeah, most of the stuff should have been in post-production already. It should be on the shelf ready to launch. You can't blame COVID for that.
Yeah, Netflix is a company that's not even a tenth the size of Disney, and they come out with new TV shows and movies constantly. I mean, every week they've got like 20 or 30 new things being put on that service. It's insane.
I mean, I would like to see a little bit more out of Disney Plus, but I still haven't finished watching everything yet, so I'm okay.
I just want those freaking Marvel TV shows to come out. I'm so curious. I want to see WandaVision so bad.
They said that wasn't coming out till 2021, 2022 anyways.
And so that's already been postponed even harder.
Yeah, so, and then even one of them was even canceled.
Which one was canceled? Who canceled what?
No, I'm sorry, not canceled, postponed.
Oh, thank you. Don't do that. My heart.
Hell, I bet the Obi-Wan show is canceled fully.
No, it's not fully canceled. They're still, it's still on the slate, but it's on the back burner right now because they're trying to basically because right now they're hemorrhaging money. Disney as a corporation, they're hemorrhaging money everywhere, as all the major, as everybody is. I'm not saying that the only people that have been saved during this crisis are grocery stores, pharmacies, and liquor stores. That's it. Everybody else. No. Porn's free if you know how to search. Thank you, Reddit.
Thank you, Reddit.
No, don't. They cannot go down the way that Tumblr went. That was still disheartening to this day. Why did I get on this rant?
Because it's taking too much time in my life. Like, I'm not getting shit done. After Roz showed me what I could do in there, it's just fuck, man.
No, and the worst part is that some of the stuff on Reddit, like the cringeworthy stuff, and like there's so much. You can get into a very deep hole on Reddit without even noticing. I've had my legs fall asleep on the toilet twice. Like I've had the wife come by and she's like, "You're still in here? It's been an hour and a half." No.
Lucky.
I love it. All right, we're gonna move on to petition asks Disney parks to retheme Splash Mountain. This article comes from cinemablend.com. The killing of George Floyd last month in Minnesota sparked protests around the country and around the world. It's caused Americans of color to seriously consider the way we all do with races. That serious introspection has even stretched to the world of theme parks. Splash Mountain, the ride at Disneyland, Walt Disney World, and Tokyo Disney, is one of the park's most popular attractions, and has also been a somewhat controversial one due to the decision to theme the ride after Song of the South, a film that deals with racial relations in the Reconstruction era in a very Disney way. So, Song of the South has been buried, and Disney has done its best to bury it. And I've actually never. I have to watch it. I've never seen it, and I'm to see what's the buzz about this thing. But how do you guys feel about them wanting to retheme Splash Mountain because of its relationship to Song of the South?
I think I understand. Again, if I was Disney and this would cost me money instead of making me money, I'd be like, man, fuck. But I don't know. I would have to see how it is. But also, I don't really like going to theme parks, so I can't really care. I don't care that much. But it's tough. A large part of me says, bro, no, it's just a fucking ride. You know, I read the story. It was part of my folklore mythology class. You know, if you look at it, it's pretty fucking offensive nowadays. I mean, it was back then, but you know, obviously back then, the standard for offense wasn't. That was the norm, but it's tough. A large part of me says no, it's just a fucking ride. Either ride or you don't. But another part of me is like, all right, yeah, Disney definitely has the money to fucking turn it into maybe a Little Mermaid or a Frozen ride with a cold dip at the end or some shit. You know?
No way. The best thing they're gonna do is, and honestly, I just opened up the article, and the Princess Frog would be a perfect.
Oh yeah.
Perfect setup.
Yes. Agreed.
All right, so
There's water in the Princess Frog.
Yeah, they go.
Yes, what the fuck?
I've never seen it. I've never.
So okay, it's actually really, really good. One of my favorite villains of the new Disney era, of the newer Disney era, it comes from this movie, that song, I Have Friends on the Other Side, is just it's amazing.
On the other side.
Yep.
No, I think the
Well
best.
done.
Well, okay.
And it killed their
Mr.
2D
Rock.
animation studio, which is sad.
What did?
So there's no more 2D animation coming from Disney?
No. The movie did not well for them, so they decided no more 2D movies.
Oh,
And that's really upsetting because the reason why it didn't do well was not because of the actual movie itself, but because we're pissed because there was a black princess.
Yes, good old-fashioned racism.
Yep. So my whole thing is that
yeah, but wasn't Jasmine?
Yes, it's been a while.
Wasn't Jasmine like Middle Eastern or
Yes.
so?
And actually, the first quote unquote princess of color was actually Esmeralda from Hunchback of the Notre Dame. That was the first female lead in a.
So was it? I mean, was it really? So your statement that it was because it was a black princess. I mean,
no. These are legit articles. People actually, yes, people boycotted it because there was a black princess.
Just because she was black, not because she was a non.
Yes.
Just because she was black. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
That was the
America's a racist country. This just in.
But that's why I bring up. You know, you had the gypsy in Hunchback of Notre Dame. You had. I'm sorry. You had you had the Jasmine. She was non-white as well. I don't know who else there was, but
Pocahontas.
Okay, hold on. If you
was Native American or.
Never mind.
So so really it's just a black thing? Is that what it was?
Yes. People are substantially listen, as a minority in this country, everybody here has been a victim of racism to a certain extent, but African Americans in this country receive on a whole quite a bit more. And especially when it comes to media productions, people for some reason despise seeing something like an African American protagonist. It's really weird.
All right, well, here's the thing. If that is the case, and this is facts, then why would they cast a black actress to play Ariel in the live action Little Mermaid?
Because they want to buck the trend.
Yeah, they don't want to. They're trying to change the narrative.
Okay.
Simple as that.
I'm just curious because I mean, if you're saying this is the movie, that officially closed the book on 2D animation, you would think from a purely financial standpoint they wouldn't want to poke the bear again, but okay, I get it.
But thing is that things are changing, and the whole thing is that Disney decides that they want to be part of the change, not part of the problem.
Okay.
Which is added. I can and the reason why this whole conversation came up is rides change at Disney all the time. Yes. Sometimes people don't know how the difference is. So anyone remember for the went back there was actually the Stitch ride where he would get loose.
Yes, it used to be the superior alien ride.
Yes,
in every way.
And now it has very much superior alien ride. But now they have they're making something else out of it. So things change. Splash Mountain has been a staple at Disney parks for decades. That was one of the first main installations in that park. Yep. Okay? It does not mean that we can turn around and say, you know what? It's time to change things. They changed things in Pirates of the Caribbean because they realized that it was time for a change.
Yeah. There was a lot of offensive shit on that ride.
No, it was based upon they were trying to, but in defense of pirates, the reason why it was done that way was mostly because they were trying to reflect actual things that happened in that era.
Yeah.
So that they were just trying to be realistic, but they realized that they were too realistic and it was offensive and causing uncomfortable questions that having to be asked to parents, which honestly, truthfully, that's fine. You want to go there for a fantasy, not for reality. Yeah. So they created this newer narrative that is more relevant and more it mirrors of what current standpoints and current standards are, which is fantastic. At first I thought I was not going to be happy with it until I saw it, and then I was like, you know what, Red's cool. I'm down. I love that lady now even more than before.
The Song of the South, the movie, is controversial for many reasons, but I mean, people like to say the actual songs are part of the problem, but I mean the entirety of that movie and the books that it was based on are not really okay for today.
Yeah.
Now,
Brer Rabbit was a caricature.
I'm saying right now that
based on a target.
Based.
Now, I will say this though. I think I feel that the intention of that movie in that time period was to explain how things should be, not how things were.
But using really surprisingly racist, figures.
Well, I think it's because it was just, again, we're talking about.
Dude, it was a product of its time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I think it has value in a historical sense. I do not appreciate when, like, recently HBO Max got rid of Gone with the Wind. They removed it from streaming.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Because it was too controversial. I don't think that's okay. I really like the way that Warner Brothers used to approach this. There were a few collections that they released in the 2000s of old Looney Tune cartoons and old Tom and Jerry cartoons that they prefaced each episode with, we're presenting these uncut how they originally were. They are a problem. They are racist, but for the sake of historical value, we're keeping it the way they are. This is not reflecting our current standards, but this is just reflecting the times. But they're not in constant. They're not. What'd you say?
Yeah, Blazing Saddles still plays on TV.
Blazing Saddles still plays on TV, but Blazing Saddles isn't geared towards 5-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds.
And also, it was purposely created as a satire.
Yeah, it is a satire from the ground up.
So I think, again, when something is made in a satirical sense, it has more of a novelty and staying power because, and that's why I think that oh my God. The director, Spaceballs, Mel Brooks. Thank you. Mel Brooks is an absolute comedic genius. The movies, if you look at his film career, he has literally made a career of making fun of stereotypes, but in a way of making it so utterly blatant that this is a stereotype, this is a satire, making fun of people who actually believe this.
Beautiful social commentary.
It is, but he was way ahead of his time because even things like Young Frankenstein, which if you look at that movie, it's about how people are treated, seeing things from the outside, not getting to know people properly, and just making judging people without knowing them. I mean, there's so much, and I can go on and on about Mel Brooks because he's actually one of my favorite directors of all time. Even if Spaceballs was probably the closest, that's one of my second favorite films for a very long time. But it's just that I think it's time. But at the same time, I understand what they're saying. It would take too much of a conversation for me to sit down with my 5-year-old son explaining why Song of the South was made that way, and it's not okay to talk that way or look that or do that today. It's going to create an unneeded extra layer of subconscious bias that they don't need to be subjected to.
I agree.
And like I said, if we would have had this conversation a year ago, I would have fought to keep it the same way. I am not even having this. I need to understand. I mean, they're extremely very clear, but I literally have to sit down now as a father and see how is this conversation going to go. How am I going to be able to explain to my kid that maybe when he gets older, I can show it to him on a different, show it to him and I go, hey, this is. But here I'm going to show you an example of X, Y, Z. But to having a 5-year-old go, Daddy, why is this okay, but you tell me not to do X, Y, Z all the time? I don't want to have that conversation. I don't want to have that subconscious unknown biases and stereotypes embedded in his mind just from watching a kid's movie or a cartoon.
I don't think it would be embedded in the child's mind if the child's watching it with you and you're there to explain what's going on at the moment.
He doesn't ask.
I mean, I personally, as a parent, I've been a parent for 14, 15 years. I don't necessarily believe in the concept of shielding a child from the way the world works or the way the world used to work. So what I'm saying is that I don't think there's anything wrong with having that conversation. I don't think because there's going to be times when your child is exposed to things without you around, and they're going to have to take that and figure that out for themselves. So whatever you can expose to them with you and have that conversation will help better steer their narrative when they're presented in the real world with certain things like this. So I mean, I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm trying to say, though. Like, I don't want to have to sit there and worry about him watching something without me. If he's going to sit there and watch it with me, that way he could turn around like watching something as plain as even like say Rick and Morty. Team America, perfect examples. I'm not even joking. Like, let's say like everyone as a young teen, you know, and he wants to watch some of these older movies that I love so much. I want to be able to be there with him to kind of explain why did they say that? Like, because he's gonna ask me questions.
Hey, you know, as a former child,
allegedly,
I'm not a parent, but as a former child, I didn't realize what that was, the connections, until I was 27 and a half years old.
And that's a good example of how kids aren't born racist, right?
More than 20, 30 times. But then when I took my folklore mythology class, I kind of made the connections. But even then, like I was like, oh, okay.
All right. Final thoughts on this petition to rename Splash Mountain before we move on to the last thing, which is really a non-topic.
If they do, I honestly think that they should go with Princess Frog, just because it will be an easy transition. If they decide not to, I'm actually cool with it because, I mean, it's not. I get it. I understand
it's too black for the mainstream. Sorry.
We'll see how. No. I think that right now is a perfect time for them to pull that trigger. And I think that it would look really cool. And honestly, I'm down for a new ride. And besides, they have to revamp that whole ride. That thing breaks down every few months, anyways. So they have to redo the whole ride, anyways. So they might as well revamp it and change everything out. And the one thing that maybe they can put some of those characters back in the Bear Jamboree.
Oh, the poor Bear Jamboree.
All right, and we're moving on too.
It's still, that thing is a little saucy. If you actually go and watch it now as an adult, it's a little saucy. It's fun.
I have not been to Disney in years, and I probably will never go back again. But
that's your loss, buddy.
I Galaxy's Edge. So.
I mean, I do want to do that. The bros together, you know, with flasks and Galaxy's Edge. So that'd be fun. All right, we're gonna move on to the final topic, which is, you know, really not a non-topic. It's just an announcement. This article comes from Deadline.com. The Flash, Hartley Sawyer fired after racist, misogynistic tweets resurfaced. This has been confirmed by Deadline. He's been fired from CW series The Flash. He played Ralph Dibny and the elongated man. That part is I love this guy. I love this character. I love you. Did you watch The Flash?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you really? I didn't know. Yeah, I love this character. It was great. I mean, he went from being a dick to a really lovable character. Like, I hated him at first. Now I
turns out he's an actual dick.
Yeah. So
the whole thing is that it's the elongated man actually had that relationship. I mean, was like that. He was a bit of a jerk, and then he ended up humbled along the way.
They did well. They did well because I'm telling you, I hated that guy. And then, but he grew on me. But the actor did post on Twitter. I'm not here to make excuses. Regardless of the intention, my words matter, and they carry profound consequences. And mine can and have caused pain and embarrassment, along with feelings I can only imagine. To supporters and fans, my castmates, the crew, my colleagues and friends, I owe them all an apology, and I owe each of you an apology. Thank you for holding me accountable. So, I mean, that's a stand-up response, I would say. You know, not making excuses and not saying, hey, get over this, the past. You know, he's taking, you know, holding himself accountable and moving forward and accepting his termination.
That's his publicist kicking his ass and writing that for him.
Yeah. What was the original comment, if you guys don't mind me asking?
Oh, man, I found them, and I didn't know. No, it was, I don't know. I have to look it up. I actually looked it up because I want to see what was so bad about them. I don't remember my reaction.
How bad were they?
I don't remember what my reaction was. I don't think for me personally, I have a little thicker skin. I don't think I was bothered so much by it, but I could see why people would feel that kind of way. But what makes me wonder is who said, you know, let me go.
Said,
oh, here we go.
Oh, you gonna play that?
Play what?
So the saddest part about someone committing suicide is that they will never listen to David Bowie again. Date rape myself so I don't have to masturbate. Super Bowl, America. 80% of the prison population is African American. Just kidding. I don't care. And fags are fine, but sports often make me snore. Like, and it gets worse from there. The guy is not okay.
Okay. Yeah. No sympathy whatsoever.
Yeah,
He can go fuck himself. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even. I don't. Yeah. I'm done. Like, yeah. I'm good. Just on the first one alone, because I'm a huge advocate for protection with the whole suicide thing, and just that comparison, that's it. That's all I needed to hear.
From what I read, it just seemed like more stupid edge humor for the sake of being edgy and getting a rise out of people. That's what I got. I didn't get any malicious intent from these tweets. Just being edgy for edgy's sake, getting a rise out of people. And there are people that just exist just for that. So I'm not defending his words. I'm not saying his words are right, but I'm saying I don't.
I get you.
I'm a huge fan of watching trolls, burn, because there's no reason to be a troll. Trolls are just douchebags.
Yep.
Right.
That's kind of
there's like literally nothing. I go out of my way to like crush trolls, so I happily I don't give a crap.
I mean, do you consider him a troll? I mean, if you're just putting that on Twitter just randomly.
God,
a troll, in my opinion, is
trolling is saying dumb shit to get a negative reaction from somebody else.
But I mean, I think what I think a troll is you actively seeking out conversations and then causing problems or going somebody's up. But when you just throwing out there in the universe, I don't know. Is that really a troll?
Yes,
like
that is a raw definition of trolling.
Okay. I don't know, because when I think of troll, I think of somebody literally going to start fights with people.
That's because you're looking at it from the perspective of somebody that was originally looking at trolling from like the mid 90s, early 2000s forums. But trolling on social media has taken, is at the forefront. That is trolling on a wide scale. That is a bigger net than simply picking at 2 or 3 people on a random forum.
Okay.
Well, and when you're a famous person, your words carry weight.
Yep.
Well, was he famous at the? Oh, whatever. It doesn't even matter. All right.
When you're in the public, when you have the ability to have a forum to reach a lot of people, you have a certain responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't.
If you have 10 followers, you can say what the fuck you want. But when you have 10 million followers, you got to just be careful because there's a lot of people in there that you can.
Right, but how? I mean, is there a date on those tweets? Was it before or after he was an actor? It was before. I'm pretty sure it was before he was on the CW show. I understand your responsibility. I get what you're saying. You're absolutely right. When you are in that spotlight, your responsibility. When you don't even know the spotlight even exists, I don't know. But I mean, I'm not defending his words, but I just whatever. Moving on.
I'm all about giving people an opportunity to grow and change. Don't get me wrong, but he's got the problem is that right now it's too fresh. It's too.
There are consequences to things, but I also believe that in statute of limitation, I believe that.
No, I agree. No, that said, if these comments were made 10, 15 years ago when he was uneducated, had no idea how life and world really worked, and it was only during a small period of time where he drastically changes after that.
He said it for a few years.
Never mind. I try to give. Never mind.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I mean it happens, but I did like his character, and it's gonna suck that he's not on the Flash anymore. So that's why I put it there, because I love the Flash. The Flash is my favorite CW show.
Also, he's a 35-year-old dude. Mm-hmm. This wasn't something he was tweeting when he was 16 years old. The guy was in his late 20s and 30s.
Oh, so it was still pretty recent.
So he was a grown ass man. Yeah, some of these tweets are from this year, so
yeah, oh, awesome.
But then okay, then here's the thing. Then where is CW vetting their actors and I mean where
social media flies under the radar sometimes.
It really does.
Sometimes I mean
until it's reported. It's reported, because that's what I bet you that's exactly why he got fired, because CW may not have fired him if he happened to have these comments prior to his contract.
Yeah, a lot of these are from 2014, 15, 16, 17. Over the years, he's just
so because every company, just like most police departments now have, as well as most other large companies, have a clause when you sign your paperwork for hiring that you have to represent yourself properly on social media, because and it cannot implicate the company you work for in any which way, form, or fashion, or if it's going to impede the way that the company itself is seen. So that's why it's used. So when people start acting like total douchebags and assholes on the internet, the company can go, "We don't agree with you. Goodbye," and you're fired. That's what it's for.
And on that note, well, we're going to end it right there. That's it for Keeping the Geek Bros, episode 99.8. You can check us out on Instagram, Twitter. That's GEKBR0S. Of course, email us about anything we said or anything in the future, or recommend some topics to us. Geekbros with a 0, GEEKBR0S at yahoo.com. Facebook.com/Geekbros with a 0. That is the spot. I mean, that's where we live, basically. WeBeGeeksPC.com, the first place to listen to us every week. Wednesday or Saturdays, but every week. Every week. Spot. It is the G spot. It's the G. It's the Geek Bro spot.
The Geek Bro spot. It's the G spot.
Ayo. And of course, check out the full unedited, never chopped up, never edited down, never put into pieces video recap. YouTube.com.
For now, allegedly.
It'll never happen. I'm telling you right now. I'm never gonna do it. Never gonna do it.
Allegedly.
Never gonna do it. That's just extra work I don't want to do. I got plenty to work on than breaking up our almost 2-hour podcast weekly. No way. All right, shameless promotion, guys, before we end it out. Darflex.
You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Darth_Flex.
Garbanzo.
You can find me on the IG, on the gram, on the tweets with the little blue birdies on BEANTKE278, BEANTKE278, as well as Garbanzo's Corner on Facebook.
I know that's right. Mr. Roz.
You can find me on Instagram, Ray Raziel, or Facebook, just Raziel, and I'll be one of the first ones to pop up.
And of course, you can check me out, Viberev Studios, VIBEREVSTUDIOS. That's Instagram, Twitter, YouTube.com, Facebook.
Pornhub, Grindr.
Yes. All of those.
Yes.
All between AsianDate.com.
Brand consistency.
So, exactly. It's brand consistency. and synergy, okay? Brand consistency and synergy. All right. Thank you for tuning in to Keep It Up the Geek Bros podcast. And remember, geeking out still sounds this good.
Keeping up with the Geek Bros.